If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The NFL world is currently buzzing with one of the most explosive developments in recent memory, and at the center of this storm is none other than Myles Garrett, the star defensive end of the Cleveland Browns. Sources close to the team are hinting at an unprecedented confrontation between Garrett and the Browns front office, a meeting that, according to insiders, quickly escalated from a professional discussion into an emotionally charged standoff. The tension reportedly started after Garrett expressed growing frustration with what he perceives as a lack of ambition and clear direction within the organization, citing concerns over draft decisions, coaching strategies, and what he believes is a misalignment between the team's vision and his personal championship-driven goals. While Garrett has always been vocal about his commitment to excellence on the field, those close to him suggest that his patience has reached its limit, leading to the dramatic request for a trade. The Browns, for their part, are said to be internally divided over how to handle the situation, weighing the implications of losing a defensive cornerstone against the potential disruption to locker room morale. The ripple effect of this confrontation has already started to dominate sports talk shows, with pundits speculating on how this could reshape not only the Browns season but also the balance of power across the league, as teams with cap space and defensive needs begin quietly exploring the possibility of acquiring a player of Garrett's caliber. Adding more fuel to the fire, reports indicate that the confrontation was not just a casual airing of grievances but a pointed challenge to the leadership style of the Browns management. Garrett, known for his intensity and unfiltered passion, allegedly delivered a direct ultimatum, making it clear that he sees no viable path forward in Cleveland if his conditions are not met. The exact details of the meeting remain murky, with conflicting reports circulating about whether it ended with any temporary resolution or if it concluded with heightened tension and unresolved issues. Social media erupted almost immediately after the rumors began, with fans and commentators dissecting every possible implication of a potential trade, ranging from which teams could realistically afford Garrett's contract to how his departure might influence the defensive identity of the Browns. Some insiders suggest that Garrett's frustration stems from a combination of unmet personal expectations and what he interprets as a lack of urgency from the front office to build a contender around him, a situation that appears to have reached a tipping point. The narrative quickly escalated into speculation about locker room dynamics, with whispers that other players may either rally behind Garrett's stance or feel uneasy about the publicized conflict. Analysts are already drawing comparisons to previous high-profile standoffs in NFL history, debating whether this move could set a precedent for star players demanding trades when organizational goals clash with individual ambitions. The rumor mill continues to churn as journalists scramble for exclusive insights, leaving fans in suspense about how, when, or even if the Browns will act to resolve the crisis. What makes this situation even more combustible is the timing, with the NFL season looming and the Browns' playoff aspirations hanging in the balance. Garrett's demand for a trade has reportedly forced the team's leadership to convene emergency strategy sessions, weighing the potential fallout of losing a defensive juggernaut against the long-term message sent to the rest of the roster. Inside sources claim that the organization is acutely aware of the public perception, especially given Garrett's status as one of the most recognizable faces of the franchise and the league, and they are reportedly debating how to manage both the optics and the operational consequences. The question now dominating conversations across sports media is which franchises could realistically match Garrett's ambitions, both financially and competitively, and whether the Browns' asking price and potential trade discussions will align with market realities. Speculation has already named a handful of teams rumored to be interested, each balancing the opportunity to add a transformational player with the risk of disrupting their own team chemistry and salary structures. The mere possibility of Garrett moving to a different city has triggered waves of excitement and dread among fans, creating a narrative that is being amplified exponentially through podcasts, YouTube channels, and social media threads, where every nugget of rumor is analyzed for hidden meaning. The situation is being treated like a ticking time bomb, with insiders suggesting that the longer it remains unresolved, the greater the risk of distraction and tension within the Browns camp, potentially influencing game day performance and long-term strategy. Meanwhile, Garrett himself appears poised, at least publicly, to remain fully committed to peak performance, indicating that he intends to maintain his elite level of play while the negotiations, or rumors of negotiations, dominate headlines. Even the coaching staff, sources claim, has been pulled into the whirlwind, trying to mediate between Garrett's high-stakes demands and management's cautious approach. Coaches are reportedly concerned about maintaining focus and unity among the players, understanding that any internal disruption could spiral into broader morale issues. The dynamic has created a unique challenge for leadership at all levels, as the team seeks to balance respect for Garrett's influence and talent with adherence to organizational protocols and long-term planning. Pundits argue that the timing, the intensity of the confrontation, and Garrett's prominence make this one of the most high-profile trade demands in recent NFL memory, a scenario that could reshape narratives across the league if it comes to fruition. Fans are dissecting past performance metrics, contract details, and potential suitors, as speculation about which city could become Garrett's next home dominates sports media. The conversation has transcended traditional reporting, turning into a real-time analysis of player empowerment, management decision-making, and the delicate equilibrium between star talent and team cohesion. Sources emphasize that while Garrett's public persona has always been that of a fiercely competitive player, insiders suggest that this move represents a calculated risk designed to maximize his career trajectory in line with his championship aspirations. Analysts continue to debate whether this could mark the beginning of a trend where elite players leverage their value in increasingly public and dramatic ways, redefining player management interactions across professional football. There are even whispers that the tension might extend beyond Cleveland, with league executives quietly monitoring the situation, assessing potential trade markets, and how other teams could respond to an elite defensive talent becoming available under such high-profile circumstances. The strategic calculations being made behind closed doors include assessing financial flexibility, positional needs, and the cultural fit for Garrett, who is known for his intensity both on and off the field. These considerations underscore just how impactful a trade of this magnitude could be, not just for the Browns, but for the competitive balance of the entire NFL. Fans are now engaging in passionate debates, constructing hypothetical trade scenarios and evaluating which franchises could realistically mount a compelling offer, turning sports forums into virtual war rooms of rumor and conjecture. In the meantime, Garrett himself is reportedly maintaining a disciplined approach to training and preparation, signaling that he is committed to his personal performance standards even as the organizational dispute unfolds. The combination of timing, player stature, and the dramatic nature of the confrontation has made this one of the most electrifying storylines in professional football this year, a saga that continues to evolve daily. Whether Cleveland can retain Garrett or whether he will move to a new team remains uncertain, but the intrigue surrounding the situation is certain to dominate conversations for weeks to come, keeping fans, analysts, and league executives glued to every development. As the rumor mill intensifies, insiders hint that the Browns' next steps could include exploring trade options discreetly, gauging market interest without publicly signaling desperation. The complexity of trading a player of Garrett's caliber, whose on-field dominance and off-field presence carry significant weight, is compounded by contract structures, salary cap considerations, and the potential reactions of other players within the league. Analysts speculate that the Browns will be walking a tightrope, trying to preserve team cohesion while also capitalizing on Garrett's value in a potential deal, if necessary. Meanwhile, the narrative surrounding Garrett has taken on a life of its own, with social media amplifying every nuance and feeding speculation at an unprecedented rate, making it difficult to separate fact from conjecture. The situation embodies the tension between individual ambition and organizational strategy, highlighting the modern dynamics of professional sports where player agency can dramatically influence team decisions. Fans, media personalities, and former players continue to weigh in, analyzing potential fits, playoff impacts, and the long-term consequences for both Garrett and the Browns. This unfolding drama serves as a vivid reminder of the high stakes, personalities, and narratives that make professional football not just a sport, but a theater of ambition, conflict, and strategic maneuvering. The speculation surrounding Myles Garrett's potential departure from Cleveland has already triggered a wave of strategic maneuvering among NFL teams, each evaluating how his addition could instantly transform their defensive front. Sources suggest that executives from multiple franchises have quietly initiated preliminary discussions with agents and insiders, gauging Garrett's interest and compatibility with their organizational culture, while also weighing the financial implications of acquiring a player of his caliber. The rumors indicate that Garrett's leverage is at an all-time high, and teams are acutely aware that a publicized standoff has the potential to inflate his perceived value. Analysts argue that the Browns' position is simultaneously delicate and volatile. They must navigate the optics of either retaining a disgruntled superstar or negotiating a high-profile trade without appearing weak or reactive. Meanwhile, the ripple effects of this drama extend beyond the field, influencing ticket sales, merchandise, fan sentiment, and media narratives that dominate headlines and social feeds. The evolving story has also reignited debates about player empowerment in modern professional sports, raising questions about the balance of power between athletes and management and the extent to which star players can publicly assert their ambitions without damaging relationships. In the midst of this swirling speculation, Garrett himself has remained disciplined in training, signaling a commitment to personal excellence even as the broader drama unfolds around him, a juxtaposition that only adds layers to the ongoing saga. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Insiders claim that the potential trade scenarios for Garrett are complex and multifaceted, involving not just monetary considerations, but also the alignment of team philosophy, coaching approach, and championship aspirations. Teams reportedly interested in Garrett are studying not only his raw statistics and on-field impact, but also his leadership style, intensity, and influence on locker room dynamics, all of which play crucial roles in predicting long-term success. Speculation is rampant about which franchises could realistically meet both Garrett's competitive expectations and contractual requirements, with whispers pointing toward teams with immediate playoff potential or those aggressively rebuilding and willing to make bold moves. Meanwhile, the Browns' internal discussions are reportedly tense, with executives divided over whether retaining Garrett, despite the confrontation, outweighs the strategic flexibility that could come from trading a high-value asset. The league itself is watching closely, as Garrett's situation could establish a new benchmark for how star players leverage their position to influence organizational decisions, creating a precedent with implications far beyond Cleveland. Social media, podcasts, and sports talk shows are amplifying every leak and rumor, dissecting past confrontations and projecting possible futures, transforming what might have been a private dispute into a public spectacle with national attention. As these developments unfold, fans and analysts alike are left to speculate on the timing, logistics, and ultimate outcome of a scenario that could redefine the narrative around elite NFL talent and organizational power. Adding another layer of intrigue, whispers suggest that Garrett's frustration is partially fueled by perceived inconsistencies in team decision-making, particularly concerning draft priorities, free agency signings, and coaching direction. Sources claim that Garrett has been vocal in private meetings about his desire to compete at the highest level immediately, emphasizing that any misalignment with management could jeopardize both his personal legacy and the team's competitive trajectory. The Browns, in turn, are reportedly attempting to navigate a delicate balance, weighing the risks of conceding to a high-profile demand against the potential disruption to team morale and organizational authority. Analysts have noted that such standoffs can have cascading effects, influencing not only internal dynamics but also fan perception, media narratives, and future player management negotiations across the league. As the situation continues to dominate headlines, every movement, statement, or subtle gesture from Garrett, the Browns, or prospective teams is scrutinized for hidden meaning, creating a high-stakes chessboard where public and private maneuvers intertwine. Meanwhile, Garrett's performance on the field remains under the microscope, with fans and critics alike analyzing game footage, stats, and intensity levels to predict how the ongoing drama might impact his play. This combination of high-level skill, strategic negotiation, and public intrigue has transformed the situation into a multidimensional story, captivating audiences in making. Garrett's next move, one of the most anticipated developments in recent NFL history. Reports also indicate that internal friction may extend beyond Garrett himself, as teammates reportedly react differently to the unfolding drama, some expressing support for his stance, while others reportedly voice concern over the potential disruption. This dynamic has reportedly placed coaches in an unusual position, mediating between player ambitions and team cohesion, trying to maintain focus during practice and preparation while the larger drama unfolds in real time. Analysts are now considering whether Garrett's public stance might inspire similar actions by other star players in the league, potentially reshaping the landscape of player empowerment and front office decision-making. Meanwhile, the Browns' leadership is said to be evaluating every possible option, from high-stakes negotiations to exploring alternative strategies that preserve both competitive potential and locker room harmony. Fan speculation, fueled by social media and relentless media coverage, has reached a fever pitch, with countless hypothetical trade destinations, contract restructures, and strategic consequences debated publicly in real time. The stakes could not be higher. A decision either way will not only define Garrett's career trajectory, but also send a message about the Browns' organizational culture and approach to elite talent. The situation remains fluid, with insiders cautioning that every rumor, leak, and analyst prediction contributes to an evolving narrative that may culminate in a landmark trade or a dramatic resolution within Cleveland. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!